Let's bring in Mark Farzetta, extending the play with Mark Farzetta as we bring him back to the post-game show. Mark, we're extending the play here with you.
Well, good to be with you guys again, talking about a hard-fought Eagles win. I'm sure that phrase was mentioned a lot. Heard John McMullen talking about it. All those guys in the locker room basically just doing whatever they can to extend the record and being unbeaten now for 4 straight games to start off this season. Let's talk about our wonderful partnership right now with EBOD Foundation. This is wonderful. We all know someone, or maybe perhaps ourselves, we have been affected by Alzheimer's and people suffering from dementia, a loved one, someone in our family, a friend. Well, we are doing what we can to partner with the EBOD Foundation and something that we're doing calling Score for a Cure. You could text the words Team Miss, Team Gun, Team Seth, as well as Team Farzi. To all the wonderful people that they're there for Score for a Cure. And you can make sure to help out. You could just go to JAKIB Media to find out more information about how you can donate, how you can participate, and how you can be a part of finding a cure for these awful diseases.
All right, now, Mark, let's extend the play with this concept since John McMullen brought it up. And we briefly thought about the Commanders going for 2 to win the game. How does everybody feel about that? Is that something that team with really nothing to lose should have done this early in the season? Go for the win, Seth?
Well, I just knew that he'd go for it. I think when you're on the road and you're trying to beat a team, you know, that's undefeated, that is the conference champions, the division champion from last year, you have a chance to win, I think you have to go for it. I was really shocked that he, elected to take the game into overtime. If I was in his shoes, I would have went with it.
But Derek, you've covered many games, right? If a coach tries to go for that and fails, I mean, there's hell to pay publicly on him, right?
Yeah, but we've seen this happen so many times over the past couple of years, and especially a team like Washington that wasn't even supposed to be on the same field with the Eagles today. Mm-hmm. If he gets it, he's the hero. And even if he doesn't get it, well, you weren't supposed to win the game any day. And the analytics, the robot told you what to do, and you didn't listen. So
Absolutely.
Shame on you for not listening.
Hey, listen, I just feel like there was no guarantee that they were going to have a legitimate shot at winning this football game. That, in my opinion, that 2-point conversion was the best chance that they had today of walking away from Lincoln Financial Field with a W. Okay? And I can promise you that Ron Rivera went against what the book and what the numbers and what the analytics said. He went with his gut, and his gut got
the
him.
analytics say you should have gone for it to try
Absolutely.
to win.
Let me ask you this.
Especially on the road.
Would you have gone for it?
No.
Would you have gone for it?
Absolutely. Now, if Washington was at home, now, in my opinion, you go for the tie.
Yeah.
But on the road, you go for the win.
Farzi, would you have gone for it?
If I'm Ron Rivera, I'm absolutely going for it in that situation.
I
Again, you're in the game against the Eagles, and you put it all down on one line just like that. I mean, no one expected the Commanders really even be in this game. We're talking about 9 to 10-point underdogs going into it, and I guess Riverboat Ron isn't a thing anymore because the old Riverboat Ron would have absolutely gone for it to try to win that football game.
I don't know. I don't risk losing a game. I'd rather put it in the hands of my players. They got the first possession in overtime, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Mike.
It would have been in the hands of the players. It would have been in the hands of your young quarterback. It would have been in the hands of your young quarterback to get it done.
I've seen so many teams go for it in the third quarter. The third quarter, when you still have so much football to play. Some get it, some don't. It's like become commonplace
The third quarter is different.
Why? If you
don't get it there, you lose the game.
They lost the game anyway.
You
can't project that you're going to lose the game in overtime.
You can't even supposed to be in the same
go risk
field.
reward there. The risk is they're going to stop that play.
Okay. But you can't project that you're going to win it just because you went into overtime. There's nothing to guarantee a win or a loss, okay? So if you have the chance on the road against a team that you're a 9-point underdog to, you have to go for 2 there.
Just move the ball down the field on them, Seth, to score a touchdown to tie it. I mean, they went right down the field.
Are you speaking from a football analytic perspective or a bettor's perspective?
I don't like, if I'm a coach, right. I don't like to lose the game because I got greedy and try to go for it. I'd rather go into overtime and be safe.
This is the football we know today, Mike. Get used to it.
You asked me what I would do.
I know.
I wouldn't do it.
The other thing is you hear coaches that go for a situation, whether they win or whether they lose.
Yeah.
I wanted to express the confidence in my team.
But
that
how
they
many
can-
coaches?
Wait.
How many coaches in the NFL do that?
Let me finish. A lot of them do.
Oh, well, who goes for a 2-point conversion to lose
You
a
have
game?
to-
In the NFL and college,
You're
yeah.
not. If your mentality is I'm going for it to lose it, then guess what? You're going to lose it. You don't call a play with the mentality, with the thought that it's not going to be successful.
When's the last time an NFL team that you can remember, an NFL team, winning a game by going for a 2-point conversion instead of tying it to go into overtime? They love to go into overtime.
No, teams do not like to go into overtime.
Well, they don't like to lose with a 2-point conversion either.
Yeah, but Mike, how many times over the last several have we seen teams go for a 2-point conversion when we thought the other way and they
That's
get
early
it?
in the
And they
game.
get it.
That's
No,
early
even in
game.
the fourth quarter.
Well,
And they
I'm
get it
asking
or they
you,
lose.
I can't remember the last time an NFL team decided to try to win it or lose it on a 2-point conversion.
When you're a perennial loser, like the Washington Commanders,
Yes.
and you just been bought out, okay, and you just brought in the hottest offensive coordinator in the National Football League, you try to win that football game. I'm sorry.
All right.
And what it expresses to your team, because if they pull it off, if they can get 2 yards, okay, in that situation, you know that the Eagles are probably going to come with an all-out blitz, that the cornerbacks are susceptible because they've been giving up slant routes and fade routes and all of that stuff all day long, that there's a high probability your quarterback's on fire. You take the chance to win the game because that can change the whole mentality of your football team. Now, they just lost this game, and when they pan to those Washington Commanders team players sitting on the sideline, when Jake Elliott nailed that 54-yard field goal, they were dejected. They probably won't win another football game for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, God, I don't know about that.
Am I making sense here? I don't know. You wanted
making
to
sense.
go for it.
I understand what you're saying, but to answer the question, now, I had in the dark recesses of my memory where I try not to go, the Giants actually went for 2 last year, and it was not at the final play of the game. It wasn't to win the game, but it was to go and take the lead, and they actually did go for 2 as opposed to elected to go for the point after, and they actually went up 21-20 on the Tennessee Titans, ended up winning the game. I thought it was Brian Dable. I couldn't remember if it was last year.
Yes.
And it was Brian
first
Dable.
game of the season.
First game of the season.
How much time?
And what did he say? What did he say?
Yes.
He said, I wanted from day one
Yes.
to exhibit confidence in my football team, and it shifted the mentality of that football team for the whole year,
Yes.
and they went on and made the
How much
playoffs.
time was
One
left
minute.
in the
Not
game?
only
1 minute
not
was
only
left
that.
in the game.
1 minute was left in the game?
1 minute.
Not
All right.
only that, but when he made the call, he turned to everybody on the sideline
And
and said,
asked
should
them.
we go for it?
Yes.
They said in unison, we go for it. That set the tone. Now, I will tell you this also. As dejected and ticked off as Washington was losing this game in overtime, this was a moral victory for them today because nobody expected them to be close to this team after what happened last week. They had a chance at the end of this game. Now, they're dejected. Yes, nobody likes to lose football games. They slugged it out with the defending Super Bowl runner-up, a team that was averaging 28 points a game. They matched this team point for point. The only difference was the ball didn't bounce their way in the enemy's backyard on a day like this.
Can I share something with you, D-Gun?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm not playing anymore. We're sitting up here. We're talking about
Sure.
the game. For us, there are moral victories. But for players, there are no such thing as moral victories. I'm telling you right now, when you go back later on this week
Right.
and you watch this game and you watch the TV version, and when that ball goes through the uprights, they pan the
Yes.
entire sideline of the Washington Commanders. Watch the dejection that you see in the body language
Yes.
and the faces of those players to realize that we battled the entire day. Okay, we played against the 1 or 2, seed in the NFC going into week 3, and we had a chance to win, and we went into overtime and lost.
Okay,
All right.
let me ask you this then. You come out of that game against Buffalo last week. What are you saying as a team?
They were demoralized.
Oh, my goodness. This rookie quarterback showed his true colors under a worthy opponent, and he buckled. Now their heads are swimming. What the heck do we have or what don't we have in a quarterback? He comes back in this game, plays a near flawless game. No picks, used his athleticism, picked up necessary yards, running the ball, made some great throws. Now, even though you lost the game, you come back and say, you know what? We might have something here. We might have something
Listen,
here.
I get it, man, but I know from experience that football is a emotional game.
Roller coaster.
It's so much emotion that goes into it, and there's so much adrenaline that goes into it. And your body only has so much adrenaline on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
Your body can only recharge to a certain extent. They recharged for today and still came away and lost. What do you think their adrenaline stores are going to be like next week? I'm telling you right now, they're going to get worked next week. And I don't even know who they play.
I got to see who they're playing.